Hi and welcome to my review of The Goodies, the complete BBC collection. Today we're up to Scoutrageous. When Graeme and Bill discover Tim's secret life as a scout, they want to get involved, but the quest for scout badges brings out the worst in them. When Bill and Graeme's antics lead to the Scout movement being declared an illegal organisation, Tim defects to a more powerful organisation, and the result is war. There are just so many highlights in this fantastic episode. I was surprised to see Bill in his rather plain blue jacket costume again, after the very flamboyant and very cool looks he's had over the past seasons. This does seem a bit of an odd choice. I notice Graeme now has a significantly shorter hairstyle than he did before, and so does Bill. Maybe they're adjusting to the changing styles of the late 70s. This episode is really beautifully shot, and some of the scenes, particularly of Tim creeping around at night to his secret scout meeting, have a really film noir feel to them. There were some really cute cartoon references in this episode, particularly when Bill and Graeme are hiding in the rubbish bins. I really laughed out loud at Graeme calling some of the scouts shameless hussies for showing their legs in short shorts. One of the highlights of this episode for me was Graeme's hot pants. They are hilarious. I thought it was pretty interesting in light of, revelations of recent years that this episode does touch on the suggestion that some people involved in the scouting movement may have had an unhealthy interest in young boys. And I do kind of like that they didn't shy away from that. With my nitpicking hat on, I did notice some bad short continuity in this one. Graeme and Bill's shorts seem to be different in some of the exterior shots than they are in the interior shots. Once again, we see more of Tim's Union Jack wardrobe, this time his Union Jack underclothes. And the giant hat from Scatty Safari makes a return appearance on Bill. One thing that always really stuck in my mind from this episode is just how sinister and threatening Graeme is as the lone scout. He's fantastic in these scenes. And one thing I'd totally forgotten about this episode is that, like Bunfight at the OKT rooms, it does bring in some Western movie motifs and uses them to great effect. I really love the scene where they're in the red convertible getaway car, and it suddenly struck me how odd it looked seeing them in a car. Did we ever see them in cars much in other episodes? I can't remember. Another detail that I thought was really beautifully done in this episode was the news footage of young scouts being arrested after scouting is made illegal. Another delightful bit in this episode is Bill's outfit once he becomes rich from all his scouting crimes. He's wearing the most sensational velvet pants and this amazing jacket, which I read in the Robert Ross book, had previously been worn by John Inman in Are You Being Served? Now, that is a jacket with quite a comedy pedigree. The Scoutfinder General was another fantastic detail that I loved, and I thought it brought in a wonderful little horror movie touch to the episode. Something else I really enjoyed here was Tim's scream during his trial. I just love it when Tim screams for some reason, and it reminded me of his fantastic scream in Kitten Kong. I also really enjoyed Graeme's outfit once he becomes rich from the proceeds of his crimes. He's got this amazing velvet jacket on, and I love that even though he's got this really different look, it's still in keeping with his character. Now, I've got a bit of a question. Tim's Salvation Army parade scene. I vividly recall as a youngster noticing that there was a word cut out from this scene. Watching it now, I couldn't see any cuts. The only thing I could see that might have caused some offence at the time was when Tim says, "Hallelujah." Was this what was cut from Australian screenings? I just thought it was amazing watching this episode again today, that it combines all these incredibly diverse influences from war movies, film noir, westerns, and even cartoons. Now, the music behind the final showdown is really sensational. It's got this eerie electric guitar sound, and it's very quiet. If you're not paying attention, you might not even hear it, but it's a really great piece of incidental music. This episode's guest stars included Frank Windsor, who's familiar to British audiences from his long-running role in Z-Cars, I believe. And also returning is Michael Barratt. Frank Windsor is genuinely threatening and disturbing in this episode. He plays it really beautifully. Just like the previous episode, this episode has a different feel to me from a lot of the previous episodes from earlier seasons. The scope feels much bigger. It almost has the feel to me of a movie. The plot is compelling, fast-paced, and the end resolution is just fantastic. I thought this was just a powerhouse episode, showing they are continuing to deliver top-draw material as both writers and performers. Personally, I would rate Scoutrageous as one of their best ever episodes, and it's just such a strong story from start to finish, and it really delivers the laughs. I found it interesting that the past couple of episodes, which have had that different feel, I think have diverged a little bit from their previous formula, where they would kind of rely a bit much on the film segments at the end. In these episodes, the story just continues through in an equally strong way from the start to the finish, and for me, this is much more entertaining. I feel like they've returned to making a full effort in these episodes. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you'll join me next time when we move on to Punky Business. I'll see you then. Bye.